4. Araceli, I'm so glad that you hopped in and joined me. I know that you're going to be an encouragement to other homeschoolers. So, where are you in your homeschool journey right now?
So we're actually entering our third year. Our boys were in public school before then. Our oldest was in public school till he was in fourth grade. And then we pulled out the youngest. He had just finished kinder.
What made you pull your kids out of public school?
There was a lot of things, but I think really what it boiled down to was we just didn't feel that we had the freedom to teach them what we wanted and to teach them how we wanted. Um,
Mm,
so both my boys have learning, well, they're both special education students. Well, they were in the public school.
right.
And I felt like all I was doing was just fighting and fighting and fighting the system. And it didn't matter how hard I fought, it never seemed to be for the benefit of them and for our family.
Right.
And so kind of right after COVID, we had been thinking about it for a while, and COVID was the thing that just made us take the plunge.
It's a scary leap, I think. Were you homeschooled or
I
are
was
you?
not homeschooled, no. So I was public schooled all the way. Actually, my both my parents are public school teachers,
Oh,
and my brother-in-law is a public school teacher. So there's a lot of history with public school in my family.
yeah. So that can make it tricky to make the leap. I know it was for me. I didn't want to homeschool when we started, and I've shared that story out there before. So with all the different homeschool things out there, how did you find me? How did you find Bekki Sayler?
So we were, I think our second year, maybe it was in the middle of it. And I was so frustrated with the way things were going. So school had become school at home instead of homeschooling.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated with that. I knew that wasn't the reason that I had taken the boys out of school, but I didn't necessarily know why I wanted to. We had taken this plunge, just kind of do it. And I didn't know what I was doing. So
Right.
I literally went to Pinterest and I typed in, what does God want for my homeschool? And your book, Homeschooling Inside Out, I think it's called,
Uh-huh.
came up. And I started reading that, and I absolutely fell in love with your philosophies and everything that you taught,
That's
about,
amazing.
making learning fun and unique.
Yeah.
And I love that because before then, honestly, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted from my homeschool. I just knew what I didn't want. But you helped me see what I did want.
That's amazing. And that's amazing. That like make my heart like skip a beat. It's why we even have gone on to make our like I think I'd call it a flagship program, the Homeschooling Olympians program that you were in it before we even relaunched it into its current state right now, where it has like the master class and the coaching and all that stuff. So Homeschooling Olympians, in a nutshell, like what have you gleaned from being a part of Homeschooling Olympians?
What I think the biggest thing that I've gotten is community and accountability. So
Mm,
I thrive on those two things. And honestly, we've been looking for community for a little bit since I took them out, and I knew that was really big. I knew that was an important part of it, but
right.
it didn't seem like we were finding community the way that I wanted community, if that makes sense. So the
Hmm.
communities that we were finding within the homeschool, people around us seemed to be more school at home or
Yeah.
more, academic driven or more co-ops and we just didn't seem to fit in any of the different types of communities we tried. But I
Yeah.
think it was because simply like our philosophy is a lot different than most of the homeschoolers that we were meeting. So
Mm,
it was really neat to be able to come with, moms who are like-minded,
mhm.
who are going after that different way of learning, that different thinking, a different mindset. So that's one thing for sure. And that accountability, I love being able to, learn things. Maybe that's why I wanted to homeschool, but I love
Yeah.
learning things. I love, um, and being able to learn that on my time frame, yet still, getting accountability from other moms, from you, from these courses, the way that they're laid out, it's perfect for me. So
Oh,
those are the two things for sure.
I'm super glad. So if you were able to speak to a homeschool mom that's frustrated, that's feeling chained to their kitchen table, and like they feel like they're just turning the page and doing curriculum, but that they're losing their family. They can see that what they're doing, it's they're losing their family, they're losing their kids. They're getting school done, but at a very high price. Would you say that it is worth at least taking a peek at Homeschooling Olympians?
It's absolutely worth it. So our personal story, I had absolutely believed that if we would have kept on going down the path that we were, we would have lost so much. I didn't even realize when we took the boys out how broken our family was, and so it was
Yeah.
almost learning to become a family again. And as weird as that sounds, that's exactly what we had to go through.
Oh,
And now that I'm on like the third year, I'm realizing how important that was. Like, I know the first 2 years we didn't get, I don't know how much academics we got. I don't know if we even got any academics we've done. But the fact that we put our family together and
mm,
started building that foundation, like that is priceless. There is no um, price that could be put on that. Like
oh,
I don't regret anything. Yeah, we didn't necessarily do academics, but we healed and we became a family again.
oh my gosh,
And
you're gonna make me cry.
and that going forward is just and honestly, I don't know if I would have been able to do that had we not been homeschooling. Number one, I wouldn't have even been aware. But
Yeah.
number two, I wouldn't have had the time or the focus. And so I would just say if the academics need to be pushed aside, like it's okay. It really is okay. I think so many times there's so many expectations out there that get put on us by, other people. Sometimes on our own, we'll put our own unrealistic expectations, but just knowing that there's seasons, right? There are
Mm.
always seasons. And sometimes we get to a point where there's frustration because we're learning that we're going into a season that we need to just simplify and see
Mm.
really what's important.
Oh my gosh. Like, what do I even say after that? Except, wow. Like, I recently looked back. I created like a little time machine video so I could kind of show people what 25 years of homeschooling looked like for us. And you nailed it in that, this whole idea that people don't even realize that their families are broken, and that they're chasing the wrong rabbits, right? They're chasing these benchmarks and standards and to-dos and all these things. But if they could just focus on the family first, like all the academic stuff, just it can be added later or it can be sprinkled in, and it's so much deeper and it's so much better when you have those connections with your family. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your time and just sharing. I know that your words are going to resonate with so many, and I'm so thankful for you joining. So, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.